Hello, you beautiful legends, and welcome to Blunt Force Healing Podcast. This is episode number 674, and I was disrupted, but for good reasons, because one lady came to me asking for a voucher for sauna, and I spoke to her a couple of days ago, and I had that two vouchers that I printed and laminated, ready to deploy, and I gave it to her. Well, I sold it to her, so it's a nice topping for on whatever revenue I've got today. But about it, I will be speaking tomorrow because it's back journaling. So I journal about the day before. Yesterday, Monday, was really dead silent, and the title says it all. It is there for a reason, but there's small but. It's strange how life can turn the tables and how everything can change, especially in Ireland, especially in this business, and especially when you have no expectations. So, to some extent, we had expectations that Monday might be slightly quieter. And despite the plan on to deploy the sauna in the morning early to get maybe some swimmers or early risers, as I say, that go to the beach and get them to use the sauna. Before I actually prepared everything, like filled the bottles with fresh water to make sure that I'm not using the ocean water for anything really, but especially for the stove because it would get damaged with salt involved. So I use the tap water to make sure that people are not using the ocean water on top of the stove. But that means that I need to always fill in the bottles and carry enough of them to supply me for at least one single deploy. If I have two deploys, obviously I have a break in between and I can refill the bottled waters, but there's no way to refill them on the spot here at the beach. There's no, tap to use it. So I deployed in the morning, and before I was ready, it was already quite late, to be honest, because it's, I was around 9:30, somewhere in between, at the beach, and it was already pretty late for early risers or swimmers. But this Monday was very eerie and quite unusual, because even when we have no bookings or no walkings or people kind of coming from the beach directly, sometimes people pop in and have a chat with me, or even when people just pass by and you say hi to them, it's Ireland, people respond and they smile, and there's always a bit of a gander, like, or something. But this morning it was so strange. Not only there was really no smiles, but no people chatting. And I was so surprised, because even those people that I was greeting, just random people, they weren't responding, and most of them weren't even smiling. It was so unusual to be in Ireland, especially in this place, in this area of Donegal, and have really just a grumpy to no responses. I understand that there might be cultures out there that it's not normal for them to do it, and they are not used to it, and I get it. But pretty much no one responded, and all of the people were really kind of a bit grumpy. So that was a very strange day, very, very strange day. I still can't grasp it. The lady's screaming her lungs off. Anyway, so the morning was really terrible. zero revenue, which I don't think happened since we deployed the sauna first couple of days. So it was really, really strange. And the worst day that we had was probably a single session of 30 minutes. And this time was nobody. And as a one thing, I blame the weather. Obviously, weather is good, improved in Ireland in the last 2 or 3 days. It's warmer, it was sunny, so not many people want to go to more heat, even though they have ocean. And especially that ocean waters are also a bit warmer at the moment, so I can understand that. But yeah, I knew that it might be this way. I was there for about 3-4 hours, wrapped everything, and came back to Donegal to the house. I parked the sauna. We went with Julian to do some grocery shopping because we were missing a lot of groceries. We didn't have stuff in the fridge, and we wanted to replenish it basically. And afterwards, we decided to just gather stuff and go early to deploy sauna for the evening. So we're planning to start about 6 or 7, but I wanted to be here around 5ish to start heating up. And the reason was that the high tide was about 7:30 p.m. So I knew that I won't be able to deploy on the beach. And if I want to deploy at the exit, and I had already some bookings, I want to be at least second or third in line in front of the exit, or preferably first, so people can see the ocean from the sauna. And being early made it possible because people were still parked on the beach and there was a free space up front. So I parked first. I prepped for the bookings, and once the tide started coming in, people were leaving beach and stopping in, parking in different spots, trying to get that tight area filled. So I was their problem, not mine. We were set up, and people started pouring in, and we had a couple of walk-ins as well, not just the bookings. So it was a good evening, and especially that complete turn of events or turned tables in comparison to the actual morning time. So you see dead silent in the morning and pretty busy in the evening, up to the very last person that came pretty much at the time that we were finishing. So we allowed that extra time for them to stay, and it was brilliant. So it only shows how life is weird in certain ways. It was lashing rain, it was overcast, and temperatures, while warm, dropped a little bit for the evening. So I suspect that was one of the deciding factors that people started coming in, even though we obviously had some bookings, so people were scheduled to come in, but walk-ins were likely people that were coming from the ocean. They were already a bit cooled down, and obviously rain was lashing, and they wanted to heat themselves up, so we were there to support them. So that's pretty much it. Tomorrow we're going to Dublin, so I will be reporting about Dublin, not tomorrow, but the next day. Tomorrow I will be reporting about today's deploy, which was also quite interesting. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. I always appreciate your time listening to my podcast or reading the blog. I hope you have a great rest of the day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Stay tuned and see you again tomorrow.